evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag Brand Modi. Brand Modi is the only thing this election is about. Hashtag Brand Modi is continuing to peak. Brand Modi is about the global faith in the Indian economy. Brand Modi is about Elon Musk, super excited to come to India and start manufacturing Teslas on Indian soil with Indian partnerships. Brand Modi is about Bill Gates enthusiastically listening as the Prime Minister explains how he's using technology to change the lives of millions of Indians, and we watch proud as ever. That's what Brand Modi is about. Brand Modi is about this, what you're seeing on the screen, India's biggest gamers. So charged up to feature the Prime Minister in their newest and most latest gaming promotion video. Brand Modi is about India's biggest influencers excited about the vision of Viksit Bharat and evangelizing it with all that excitement in their heart. And Brand Modi is about all of us, you and me. All of us, whatever your political beliefs may be, charged up knowing that under this leadership our country will outstrip the United Kingdom, not in GDP but in the quality of life in our lifetime. Brand Modi is about fructifying a century-old dream to see our country as the leader of this world, economically, strategically and spiritually, and believing every day of our lives that it is not just possible, but the vision the Prime Minister shared from the ramparts of the Red Fort when he spoke about Viksit Bharat for the first time is not a vision alone. It is a vision well on its way to being a reality, and that is debate one tonight. Brand Modi, ladies and gentlemen. The PM is meeting select gamers. We saw what he did today. He tried his hand at a few games. The gamers are sharing their experience of meeting the Prime Minister with me tonight. And we have top economist Sanjeev Sanyal on what Brand Modi means and what the Modi-Musk meeting holds significantly for the country. We debate if Brand Modi is about making the elections 2024 one-sided. That's about 9:20 p.m. tonight. A very exciting show tonight. I have Congress insider Gaurav Vallabh, who recently joined the BJP, spilling the beans and telling me why he thinks Rahul Gandhi is going to chicken out of Amethi this time. And ladies and gentlemen, as the Congress struggles to decide what to do with Rahul Gandhi, we have the fallout of the Wayanad, Amethi, Raebareli fix the Congress party is in. That's at 10:25 tonight. So it's a packed show. And here are the headlines this Thursday evening on the debate tonight. That video is going viral. Brand Modi is at an all-time high as the Prime Minister meets select Indian gamers, even tries his hand at a few games. Elon Musk will be meeting the Prime Minister this month. Announcement on investment plans on the cards. Mamta fearmongers on CA yet again, says ready to shed blood, won't tolerate torture. Lalu's eldest daughter, Misa Bharti, issues a threat, abuses the Prime Minister, says Prime Minister Modi will go to jail if the Indie bloc wins the elections. Big development in the Liquorgate investigation. K. Kavita now arrested by the CBI. An encounter in Pulwama. Terrorists killed in an encounter with the security forces earlier this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister's outreach to all communities and sections of society is getting him incredible support from the people. And an interesting video came out where he was interacting with India's leaders of the gaming community, discussing the gaming community's growth, etc. And all this coming on the heels of the latest announcement about Elon Musk coming to India and announcing the Tesla deal. What it is clear to me and appears absolutely transparent to all is that at this stage of the 2024 elections, there's 1 week to go for the first phase of voting. This election is just about Brand Modi. Let's debate.
स्वागत है आप सबका। मैं कलर करके बाल वाइट करता हूँ ताकि जहाँ लोगों के लगे कि बेचो अरे सब कुछ मेरे आने के बाद हुआ।
जी आप पेन दीजिए।
पहले तो नीला
तो पुलिस पीएम को गेमर टैग देना चाहिए।
मैं बीमार हूँ, तुम भी हो जाए।
In a novel outreach to the gaming community, Prime Minister Modi interacted with top gamers of India. The Prime Minister has devised a unique political communication compared to others.
सौगंध मुझे इस मिट्टी की, मैं देश नहीं मिटने दूंगा, मैं देश नहीं मिटने दूंगा, मैं देश नहीं झुकने दूंगा।
Back in 2014, he embraced the hologram technology to reach out to billions of voters. Prime Minister is also reaching out to the business community, from podcast to Bill Gates.
आपकी बात सही है। जब मैं इंडोनेशिया में भी G20 में गया था तो दुनिया के सभी देशों की क्यूरियोसिटी ये थी कि आपने ये डिजिटल रिवॉल्यूशन कैसे लाया है। एक तो मैंने इस टेक्नोलॉजी को डेमोक्रेटाइज कर दिया है कि किसी की मोनोपोली नहीं रहेगी। ये जनता का होगा, जनता के द्वारा होगा।
To setting the EV plan during Elon Musk's visit to India later this month.
Are you looking to invest in India, Elon?
Yes.
How soon can we have Tesla in India?
We don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to jump the gun on an announcement, but I think it's quite likely that there will be a significant investment and relationship with India in the future.
Is Prime Minister Modi at all-time high? Let's debate.
And first, I have two of India's leading gamers who had the great opportunity to spend time with the Prime Minister. Naman Mathur and Animesh Agarwal, both top gamers. Excited to have you tonight. Naman, Animesh, first, Naman, आपको पूछना चाहूँगा. Like to ask you, you can answer in English or Hindi as you please. What is the experience of going to, were you surprised to be invited to the Prime Minister's residence? Were you surprised? आपने expect किया था? I mean, what was it about? How did it happen?
I mean, on a very short notice, we came to know that we have to visit the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and we had to discuss about gaming, and that was quite a surprise for us, all of us. And you know, I was previously talking to Animesh that we need this opportunity to talk about gaming because there's a lot that people need to know, and I'm glad that we got that opportunity.
Yeah, it was exciting. I mean, I saw the Prime Minister was himself, Animesh, playing some games out there. How was that experience, explaining things to him? Was the Prime Minister quick in understanding? I mean, how it all worked?
Oh, yes, we have the most dynamic Prime Minister. He understands things too fast, too quick. It just took me seconds to make him understand how he needs to play on the VR, and he was able to grasp it really well. He had a very decent score that's gonna come out once we have the full episode coming out on the 13th. Gonna be an interesting one. Lovely experience overall.
No, really? How is that? Tell me about it. What do you mean he had a decent score? We saw him there with those virtual glasses. So
Yes, so we were playing a particular game
Give me the
that's a
scoop,
Beat
man,
Saber. We had
Animesh.
to move his hands. I was fortunate enough to get a chance to explain him how that's done. I think he took maybe 45 seconds to understand it from me, and then he was on his own, playing it out, trying it out, having fun, maybe going back to those early young days and trying to have fun. Overall, it was a very good experience, and to see him get so well at it at the first go, I think that was something that just took all of us by surprise.
And Naman, was he chilled out? I mean, how did he come across from what you probably thought of him before you met him? You may have seen him on television, heard his speeches, and then meeting him face to face. How did he come across as a human being?
It was amazing. I mean, the experience was crazy because जब हम लोग पहली बार अभी obviously मैं उनको National Creator Award में भी मैंने उनको देखा था, and I saw that he was quite a chill person. And then when we sat face to face with him for the first 10-15 seconds, I was I was just looking at him, staring at him, and I was mesmerized. And the way he spoke with us, the way he tried to understand all of us, how our background was, what our name means. For example, my gamer tag is Mortal,
Yeah.
and he tried to
Yeah.
understand why is it named Mortal. And these are all things which he noticed, and that was really amazing.
बहुत बढ़िया Nimesh. You know, I saw the National Creators Awards. What I liked was, what I found amazing, Animesh, Naman, is that प्रधानमंत्री जी सबके साथ वन टू वन बात कर रहे थे, genuinely interested थे, joke कर रहे थे. Means he was totally in the moment. ये नहीं कि he was with you people, मगर his mind was in some BJP meeting or in some party office. When he was with you, and I think almost 2 hours he spent with you, when he was with you, 100% his focus was with you, right? Did you feel that way, Animesh?
Completely. From the moment he walked in, I think wo hamare साथ ही थे. And the best part is, when he walked into and he's walking into a room of gamers, super enthusiasts, young, and wants have so much to share. He had his own, own things that he wanted to tell us about, talk to us about. He had his own questions. So the point, what I'm trying to put here is, he did his homework, he did his research. It's not that he just walked into the room and just wanted to see कि आओ चलो आज क्या बताएंगे इन लोग सुनते हैं. The best part is, what I felt about him at the end of that entire session was, even a vertical that has not gotten so much limelight in India, a country with 568 million online gamers, but here we are today speaking to the Prime Minister. उन्होंने इस चीज के बारे में काफी रिसर्च कर रखी थी. उनको पता था कि उनको हमारे साथ क्या बात करना है, वो किस तरह से इस इंडस्ट्री को आगे बढ़ता देखना चाह रहे हैं. I think he was completely with us. He was with us at that moment. He made us feel so comfortable. It just felt like we were talking to a member of our
I'm very
family,
happy.
just like how we were
Yeah. 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 Yeah, he's quite cool, isn't he? I mean, Prime Minister comes across as quite cool, and India's topmost gamers saying they had a chilled out experience with him. I'm going to wait for the whole episode to come out on 13th. Animation, Naman, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're lucky, both of you, to have that wonderful experience with the Prime Minister. And Sanjeev Sanyal is with us tonight. How do I introduce Sanjeev Sanyal? Is he on air with us yet? Producers? Yeah, there he is. Sanjeev, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I mean, we're talking about brand Modi today, Sanjeev. It's all coincidence. You see, we're seeing this election. The election campaign is happening very differently. I began by saying it's all about brand Modi. Elon Musk coming to India, the projected GDP numbers, the outreach to the youth, the influencers, the creators conference which was held recently, the way people are reaching out through podcasts, including yourself. I think you're the most interviewed person on podcasts nowadays of late. And of course, the Elon Musk visit. What is the significance of all this to brand Modi before the election in your view, Sanjeev?
Well, I can't comment on the politics and the elections. All I'll say is that, look, India's brand in the global markets has completely changed. And you can see that in many things. I mean, look at the fact that we are now included in global bond indices. The stock market, as you know, is at all-time highs. Now, markets, of course, are a fickle indicator by themselves. But the fact is, if you combine it with the fact that we saw a GDP growth rate of 8.4% in the last financial year, this year, again, expected at least at around about 7%, making us, again, the world's fastest growing economy. And now you have the world's richest man coming and saying he's likely to invest into this country. As this is, if you take it all in as a package, then you can clearly see India's positioning in the world has completely changed.
It is changing. You were quoted recently as saying, and I quote you there, Sanjeev, you said, India plans to push back against agenda-driven neo-colonial country rankings produced by global agencies on topics like governance and press freedom. This was one of those things, and I think you've done a great job of hitting back at them and exposing those so-called ratings, right?
So I think
in the run-up to the election, some groups are trying very hard still. Some groups are making a very big deal of some news reports. They're trying to project India as a country that carries out assassinations abroad, a country that is becoming rogue, we are becoming majoritarian. But is there an appetite to accept this anymore? Or is it just that the circle of people is becoming smaller, the intensity of their protests and toxicity is becoming stronger?
Well, they've been at this for quite some time. So to be give them credit that they don't just do it for elections. They are at it day in and day out. So, but the interesting thing here is that you see these indices, rankings, etc., that they come out with are increasingly absurd. I mean, you're putting India, there's something called the happiness index. Now, it turns out India is less happy than countries that are at war. It's less happy than Palestine and Pakistan and Libya. And so at some point in time, we've got to begin to question the sheer absurdity of some of these indices. I think in the end, we have got to come to a point, where we not just push back against them, but I think we have to begin to create our own indices and begin to rank some of these other countries. Because until we begin to rank other countries and tell them, how we see them, this will keep going on.
Okay, I know you want to avoid the political question, but I'll ask you anyway. Is this election about brand Modi? I mean, the way you're seeing it. Tell me as a voter, don't avoid it. I mean, is this election, the pre-election, okay, you don't want to talk about the election. Let me tell you, the pre-election season, the atmospherics, is it becoming about brand Modi? Is the atmospherics about brand Modi?
There is no question that Prime Minister Modi is a very defining factor in the brand that India has built. And this is not just in the field of economics. Last year, we had the G20. And, he used the entire G20 platform in a way that has never been done before. And after all, there were G20s before that, and there is currently also a G20 presidency. But the way Prime Minister Modi used G20 to position India as not just a rising power, but now a power that has arrived already, is absolutely unique. And you are seeing that happening repeatedly. As I said, you will have Elon Musk coming in and announcing a major investment. You can see that the way the world perceives us has very fundamentally changed. And very important here, may I add, that all of this brand change in the brand, the economic performance of 8% plus growth, all of this has been achieved, by the way, in an environment where the rest of the world has been entirely unhelpful. I mean, the global growth has been tottering for a long time. We have wars in two parts of the country, two parts of the world at least. And without the help of the rest of the world, we have been generating these growth rates. And without macroeconomic instability, I mean, inflation isn't blowing up. Our foreign exchange reserves are in decent shape. Our current account is in a reasonable place. So, it's not just branding. That's what it's based on actual performance.
No, it's not. It's based on actual performance. Absolutely, it is. Viewers, as I close with Sanjeev Sanyal, he's been a macroeconomist, has worked with Deutsche Bank for a very long time, very respected global economist. Keep in mind one thing, of course, he's an advisor to the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, but even if you say that Sanjeev Sanyal is biased for that reason, keep in mind G20, stock market, Musk, impending free trade agreements, the GDP figures, everything's pushing in our direction. So even if you take what he said with a barrel of salt, you'll still find some reason in it. Sanjeev, we got to meet soon. You got to do that podcast with me soon. You do podcasts with everyone, not with me. I'm going to catch you and get you into one. And I'll pull a headline out of you. Look forward. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. With me in the studio is the unstoppable Shehzad Poonawalla with the ever unstoppable, even more unstoppable Suhail Seth. With, locking horns with Lokesh Jindal and Nikhil Jain. So this is going to be fun. You can smile a bit, Lokesh. You don't have to be... I know Rahul Gandhi has not announced whether he'll fight from Amethi as yet, but you don't have to be so serious. I won't ask you the question for the next 30 minutes, so just chill. See, this election is all about brand Modi. Do you see that, Lokesh, the Prime Minister sitting with the gamers, Elon Musk coming?
I think this program...
Day before yesterday, the stock markets.
Arnab, is the Prime Minister fighting from Kanyakumari?
Yes, it is.
I thought you had to run away from that.
Huh?
Is the Prime Minister fighting from Kanyakumari? There was a lot of buzz that the Prime Minister is going to go south. And
my contention is that this election, is about brand Modi. My contention, Lokesh, is that this election is about brand Modi.
Arnab, I'll come to a few points. First is there has been a significant decline in the savings rate of the economy. For the first time, our saving rate, which used to be around 30%, has dropped down to 4 to 5%. The nature of credit that the banks have been lending, we see there is a rise in unsecured loans, and then there is a lot of credit that is being given by the banks for personal consumption that is keeping up the demand. Secondly, the percentage of credit offered to the manufacturing segment has not shown any significant improvement. So when you talk about investment rate, it directly depends upon the savings rate, that is the indigenous saving that we have in the economy, which is significantly down. And we see that over a period of time, whatever growth that we realized, it was at the cost of deteriorating household savings. There has been a decrease in social security safety nets for the households, a decrease in MG Narega outlay, a decrease in food security, a decrease in all forms of healthcare and other sectors that are being provided to the individuals. So the point is, with a decreasing saving rate in the household, rising prices, rising unemployment, lower social security nets, aren't we supposed to think about the inclusion and those who are the marginalized sections? They are also part of the economy, or we are only supposed to look at one segment of the economy, whether it's the stock market or the FDI coming in or the FII. That is one aspect of the economy. That's not the economy as a whole. So I would say that other aspects which impacts household will be impacting the elections. The elections is all about an individual and his lifestyle and Indian household rather than one person and his image. Yes, please.
Thank you, Lokesh.
Yes, Arnab, I'm done.
I'll get Shehzad to respond. Same argument being presented. Principally, the same argument being presented is that all the excitement, the enthusiasm, the ebullience, the happiness is centered around only a few cities and the elite in a few cities, that it does not percolate to the rest of the country. And therefore, they feel that on the ground, things haven't changed for the people. And therefore, brand Modi is not going to pull the BJP through. Shehzad.
Okay. Things haven't changed on the ground for people. Forex reserves 313 billion, today 600 billion. FDI 45 billion, today 84 billion. Per capita income 86,000 rupees, today more than 1.5 lakh. Poverty rate has gone from 22% down to 10%. Today income taxpayers 3.8 crore now to 6.77 crore. Defense exports of India 2014 1900 crores, today 16,000 crores. Credit to farmers 8.5 lakh crore, today 22 lakh crores. Indian economy rank in the world 10th, today 5th, going to 3rd. Welfare schemes, tap water connections 3.2 crore, today 12 crores. Rural households built 1.7 crores, today 3.5 crores. Ujjwala gas connections, no such scheme, today 10 crores. Toilets, no such scheme, 11 crore toilets. Pure drinking water to households, no such scheme, 12 crore today. DBT payments, no such scheme, 25 lakh crores given directly to account to the poorest of the poor. Airports, 74, today 150. Highways, 91,000 kilometers, now 1,45,000 kilometers. Wait 1 second. Waterways, 0, 111 today. Mega food parks, 2, today 23. Vande Bharat train, 0, today 40.
No, you know what the argument is to this. 1 minute. One minute. You, because you will not end.
Yeah.
Because you will not end.
I'm reaching a very crucial point. Just 10 seconds indulgence. Universities 713, today 1,000 plus. Colleges 38,000, today 43,000. Medical colleges 700, today 1,300. MBBS seats 82,000, today 1,50,000. Schools built 6 lakh schools in 70 years, 6.5 lakh schools in 9 years. Now 1 second, AIMS, 1 second, please don't interrupt. Sir, please don't interrupt. I did not interrupt you. AIMS 7, today 23. Jan Aushadhi Kendra, where you get medicine below 90% cost price. Lokesh, I did not interrupt you.
1 minute, Lokesh. Now, 1 minute, Lokesh. Let's not get violent to the beginning of the program. We don't get violent in the beginning of the program. The program is beginning, no violence, verbal or otherwise, please. Thank you.
This person doesn't know anything.
Lokesh, now this is not good. Actually, he did not interrupt you at that at all. He did not interrupt you there at all, and you're being extremely uncharitable and inhospitable to him. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's only decent thing to do. It's only courteous to do. And today, the little most courtesy you can show to a minority is to learn to speak.
Oh, don't pull the minority card on this one, please. By the way, no, please.
I request you. You also like this. I request you to
Sir, tell me about the savings.
Okay, now Lokesh, don't do it, Lokesh, don't do it, Lokesh, don't do it, Lokesh, I don't hear you like this. Lokesh, I'm going to stop listening to you. Please don't do it. Let him complete. What is this? But complete.
Where you get the discounted medicine at 90% lower than the cost price, zero in 2014, today 9,848. 50 crore Ayushman Bharat cards. Today you have 50 crore bank accounts. Data cost was 300 rupees per GB, it's 9 rupees per GB. The limited point I'm trying to make is only this. Arnab.
What is your point?
My limited point is that today EVMs don't need to be hacked. You can see the hacking of hearts. Ironically, on your show, what you can see is that there are 4 generations. There's the boomer generation, Suhail Seth and others. Then you have the generation of Gen X, which was Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal. You have millennials like me and Nikhil. And you had Gen Z, the gamers. And all 4 generations are connecting with Modi because what is brand Modi? And I'll just sum up in the last line. Suhail Seth, the great ad man and the great brand person who has designed so many brands, he will tell you every brand has a punchline. The punchline for Modi is Gita. What is Gita? Don't get upset, secular wali. Gita means G for growth, I for infrastructure, T for technology, and A for Atmanirbharta and AI, artificial intelligence.
No.
This is brand Modi. And I've shown you the delivery, and this is why Modi is voted to power.
No, the thing here is this. There is another way of looking at it, and what is being said here in this acronym competition, Sohail, there is another argument. There are 2 arguments presented by the opposition. Argument 1. Nothing has happened in India. There has been no improvement. We are worse. The GDP per capita may have doubled, but we are worse. We may be a major defense exporter, but we are worse. We may be the 3rd largest economy, but we are worse because the Vadra Gandhi family is worse. Argument number 2. Yes, we are much better, but you can't credit Narendra Modi for it. Whether Suhail Seth, Narendra Modi, Nikhil, or XYZ were at the steering wheel, we would have been great anyway. Stop crediting Modi. These are the 2 arguments I'm presenting tonight, and I want Suhail Seth to open in his innings on his favorite subject of brand Modi. Brand Modi, is it relevant? Is that the centerpiece of this campaign? Suhail.
So let's imagine everything that everyone is saying is true, that Modi has delivered nothing, that the country is not grateful and shouldn't be, and the Gandhis have delivered. We've been a great country and we are a great country regardless of who leads us. Does brand Modi as a brand exist? The answer is yes. I mean, you have to be daft or outrightly stupid to believe that there's no brand Modi. You may hate the brand, you may love the brand, but the brand exists. Number 1. Number 2, for a lot of people, the brand does provide a benefit. Otherwise, he wouldn't have won 2 elections. You win elections because people vote for you. You don't win elections because someone in Greenland or Fiji is voting for you. So obviously people are voting for him. They believe that he provides certain value. 2 gentlemen or 3 of us here on the panel may or may not believe. We don't matter because this is a democracy. The 3rd, brands stand for things. Brands don't oscillate. Brands seek validation. Brands seek consistency. Brands are focused. Is Rahul Gandhi a brand? Of course he's a brand. But he's not a brand that is attractive to more people than Modi as a brand. As simple. Otherwise, Rahul Gandhi would be prime minister. Actually, he may not, because he may choose to decline even that. Now, the reality is that Rahul Gandhi started a Bharat Jodo Yatra, after which I said publicly, nationally, on television and in print, that he has been able to recalibrate his own brand persona. Because I thought that it was going in a particular manner. But thereafter, from one issue to the other, from one cause to the other, and you know what the biggest problem is? It's not whether you hate Modi. It's almost William Shakespeare-like. You know, when Brutus was asked by Mark Antony, why did you stab Caesar? He says, it's not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. So I don't know whether it is the hatred for Modi that makes a lot of people say nasty things about the country or the nation called India. The final point in my opening remarks is that no matter what you say, Modi has been able to galvanize a lot of people to remain in charcha, parcha, and kharcha. Brands are always in the currency of engagement. That is the essence of a great brand. Brands seek not only buying power from consumers, they seek engagement. Why do you think we have a thing where brands are repositioned? Brands are repositioned because brands believe that the consumer has either moved on or they need to evolve, which Modi is doing. The fact that I didn't even know, I was not following Twitter, or that, Modi's met gamers today, or Modi's met this particular group of people, or he's met unicorns, or he's met startup people. The man is making an effort. Hate the man, you hate his policies, but you cannot take away two things from Narendra Modi. Number one, consistency, and number two, focus. These are the hallmarks of any great brand. Brands don't swerve, they don't waver. I don't know if you guys were even born then. I'm sure Arnab was.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to create a brand called the New Coke many, many, many years ago, which bombed terribly. Books have been written on that because they thought that they would reinvent the wheel. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. What you need to do is you need to re-grease, recalibrate, and then imagine that you will continue the engagement between the consumer, in this case, the voter, and the brand. So I'm not suggesting for a moment that brand Modi is the next best thing after sliced bread, but he is a viable, strong, engaging brand in this country. And what is even more important is that he's an engaging
we are having a
brand
really,
outside this country.
really
Simple.
Yeah, we're having a really solid debate tonight, and we have had such great speakers at the start. I want to, viewers right now, the poll is live. 88% of the people watching the debate, India's most watched English news program, are saying that the 2024 elections is centered on brand Modi. Now, let me give you one reason comparing brand Modi. I don't want to make a comparison, but if you were to look at Rahul Gandhi, the fact is this, that brands have the ability to be clear. Like when you talk about brand, you must know, and Sohail knows this, you must know what it stands for. You must know its essence, you must know its purpose. And people should crave for it. Now, the second part is, once you have a vision, the brand must have a vision, and people must be willing. Well, allow me, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you because in my flow of thought, let me explain. People must have the belief in the vision, and the team which is built by the leader, and a team that drives towards it. Today, when I see a Piyush Goyal fighting an election, when I see so many newcomers fight an election, when I see Smriti Irani fight an election, when I see Rajiv Chandrasekhar fight an election, people from the cabinet, people from Rajya Sabha, and I see on the other hand, in fact, my second interview is very important today, where Gaurav Vallabh comes to my program and he gives me the inside story of what's been going on in the Congress. And he says, Arnab, in the Congress working committee, people are not picking up phones anymore because they are worried that the Congress party will ask them to fight an election. Nobody in the CWC wants to fight an election. It's not about unelectables. It's about the fact that nobody wants to go out there and fight an election for Congress party. So there is no belief. If the leaders cannot inspire conviction, there is no brand. And that's why the contrast is too great. Yes, Lokesh, little bit of introspection tonight. Honestly, a little bit of openness from you will be good, right?
Mr. Seth said well about brand.
Because you got Modi ka parivar, ab ki baar 400 par, Modi ki guarantee, teesri baar Modi sarkar, all these catchy slogans all around the country right now.
Arnab, well, sir spoke well about the brand, but when we talk about brand, even the product which that brand is associated with matters. What has happened is, today we have seen an increased concentration of wealth in the hands of few. The 1% rich of India, which were having 22% of the resources with them, 22% of the GDP, that share has increased to 40.1%. Now, when you talk about per capita income, you simply divide that GDP with the total population. But sir, with increasing concentration of wealth in the hands of few, with growing inequality, there are social tensions, there is a relative poverty that is increasing. Yes, you might be right on your numbers with respect to absolute poverty, but what about the relativity, the relative poverty that is on the rise in the country? That has to be taken care of. My objection to this is the product that BJP is coming out with.
No, you are repeating the same points. What I'm saying to you is, my point was very specific. Nobody in the Congress party central leadership wants to fight an election. That's the point I made. Which means nobody. Here you have a leader, whatever instructed the people will do. You have a contrast. You are not able to inspire your own team. Beyond.
Arnab, on what basis do you say this?
Who are the people?
Is it on the basis of a statement?
On what basis? Okay. Which constituency is Jairam Ramesh fighting an election from?
No, so
on the debate. Shehzad.
No.
The brand will differ.
Shehzad.
Now, please, Lokesh, you can't be
for a fourth time, Shehzad, not Tehseen. Yes. Shehzad.
Lokesh, please be courteous to allow me my space and then you can come in. I'll tell you the basis on which Arnab is making that statement. Forget Arnab, forget anybody else, forget
Annie. Why forget me?
No. Forget in the sense that forget the left parties in Wayanad who've requested Rahul Gandhi to fight.
You're comparing me with left parties in Wayanad.
No. Please hear me out, Arnab. Okay. Don't make it so difficult for me to speak with so many interruptions. Today, it's not just the left parties, and you really cherish it. Look at your face. You love it when you are putting these speed breakers for me. Anyways, it's not just the left parties, but in fact, it is A.K. Antony. Saint Antony has said today that Rahul ji should contest and the family members should contest from the Amethi Raebareli bastions. And Raebareli chhodkar chale gaye Rajya Sabha. Amethi
why is Antony having to say it?
Because they will only follow saints like Mr. Antony. They will think you are their enemy. They'll think Antony is at least a friend. But anyways, having said that, let me tell you a little bit about the brand. Modi's product is mission and vision for the country, and Rahul's product is division. Politics of division on caste, north-south. Politics of ambition, family-run dynasty profession, corruption and commission. So one is mission and vision and one is ambition, corruption, dynasty profession. And finally, look, Mr. Lokesh Jindal said inequality is increasing. Consumption inequality has declined from 0.365 to 0.343 in rural India. And consumption inequality has declined from 0.457 to 0.399 in urban India. Consumption inequality, rural and urban across fractiles has declined from 0.560 to 0.475. Yet I leave it to you, Mr. Lokesh Jindal. Can you tell me the Gini coefficient in 2014 and Gini coefficient of India in 2024? You do know that inequality of incomes and inequality is measured by Gini coefficient. Please tell me the Gini coefficient score, because before you make the assertion that inequality has increased, tell me the Gini coefficient 2014 and 2024.
What is going on here?
No, tell me the Gini coefficient. You said inequality.
Start becoming a school teacher.
Sounding like an economics lesson to me.
You had Sanyalji on your debate. It's only fair we do
You counter him because he's not answering you.
Mr. Lokesh Jindal, you said inequality has increased. What is the basis on that statement? What is the basis of that statement? That can only be Gini coefficient. Tell me the Gini coefficient 2014 and 2024.
You are talking like an undergraduate.
Gini coefficient.
Let me school you with some basics. Let me school you with some basics.
Look, I understand that when you look up to a leader like Rahul Gandhi who doesn't know what MRP is, Rahul doesn't know what MRP is. Rahul thinks MRP is minimum retail price. So I don't need to prove whom I am an undergrad or whether I am a postgrad. You tell me that what is the Gini coefficient 2014 and in 2024. Let me tell you something more. The out-of-pocket health expenditure declined from 47%, from 64% to 47%. Is this saving more money or is this spending of more money for the poor? Please tell me the facts. Let's speak facts for once, sir. 25 crore people have come out of multi-dimensional poverty. Tell me the facts. How many multi-dimensional poverty people have taken out during Manmohan Singh's tenure? Let me know the facts. Tell me the facts.
Oh, there's a big fight on right now. Don't come in right now. The debate.
Tell me the facts, sir.
Listen. Allow me to answer.
No, tell me the Gini coefficient. First, tell me Gini coefficient. No, I'm an undergrad. You're a PhD. Tell me the Gini coefficient.
Shut up and listen to me. After 2017, there was
no shut-ups. No shut-ups. No shut-ups. It's my program.
Now it's come
Nobody,
down to abuse.
nobody ever shuts up on my
You
program.
abuse me.
Yeah, please.
Don't abuse
I don't
Sanatan,
like
don't
anybody
abuse Shakti.
interrupting
That's all I
into
request you.
conversation when I'm
Don't
making
abuse
sense.
Sanatan and Shakti.
And I don't
You
want
abuse me.
anybody to simplify.
Because I'm not the son of a famous father, you abuse me. You abuse me because I have facts on my hand. You abuse me because I talk for Bharat. You abuse me, no problem.
See, I understand debating with you lowers my standard,
Shut up,
but
sir.
I would never go down into
Shut
that
up.
particular
Aye.
lane. I'll never indulge into abusing and all. That is restricted to you and your personality.
I'm not your standard.
I'll talk about the
sir. Kangana
substance.
Ranaut is
No,
not your
don't
standard.
interrupt
I'm not
now.
your standard.
Behave yourself.
We are all below.
Don't interrupt now. Behave
You're-
yourself.
You're
First of all, what had happened
gold
was
class.
after
You're
2017,
gold class.
wait. After 2017, there was a trend after demonetization that there was an increased level of unsecured loans that was given in the form of credits to individuals, and that led to an increased consumption. And the RBI governor at that
thing
point
is this, that.
highlighted and warned that this is harming the economy
You
significantly.
realize that?
In fact, the credit that had to be given to the
Giving loans to Vijay Mallya was the best thing
to
for
the
the
house
economy.
and the real estate.
Vijay Mallya's loans were the best
Lokesh,
thing for the
Lokesh, listen. Lokesh, listen.
Was one of the reason with which
Arnab,
the
can I come in with the
consumption
facts?
expenditure increased.
Can I come in with the facts? Can I come in
And
with
we
the
are
facts?
getting him back, and the loans have also been recovered by the ED, attaching the properties of much more.
Behind this particular form of development, you are ignoring a very important sector in the economy.
Whatever.
Do you know right now the banking sector is undergoing
Lokesh,
a problem?
the only point to consider tonight is this. The only
Arnab, if you have you
listen to
called
me.
invitees to be humiliated?
no, I can't wait now.
No, listen to me. If you want,
No. Nobody is being humiliated. Please don't pull out that card on me.
Agenda.
Nobody's been humiliated tonight.
Except for indulging into something very unethical. But if you are over here to have a decent discussion on various issues, you should give adequate time to everybody to
No,
put
one
forth their
minute.
points.
Lokesh, I've been quiet.
But you did have adequate time.
But look, one everyone on Swell also, please. Lokesh,
The
listen.
gentleman, that bald gentleman, who I wish one day I don't become, I wish I become like him, young and smart. But that poor chap has not even spoken once. Let's be fair. Everything can't revolve around only spokespeople here. Then why do you call people who don't have a political affiliation?
No, I agree, Sohail. My point
Goswami
is,
and I are the only non-political
Sohail. Thanks for coming back. Because the thing is that since you carry so much experience and so much white hair on your head, that people just stop when you speak and they give you that kind of respect. Sohail,
Because
I will
know
also.
my onions. I know my onions, and B, I'm Arnab Goswami's friend, and see, I've seen Arnab grow up as a child in front of me. We used to buy him lollipops so that he wouldn't make a racket. No, now on a very serious note. And I will just give one more set of comments.
No, Sohail, the point is on brand Modi.
Lokesh Jindal is
The point is
right.
on brand Modi,
There are
Sohail.
many issues
Bring
with
the
this
debate
country,
back to brand
but
Modi.
Lokesh, ask any individual in this country.
No.
would you be
Sohail, my
rather
question
led
to you.
by someone
Sohail, my
who
question
is
to you.
decisive,
My question to you.
Or would rather be led by someone who's a ditherer? Decide between decisiveness and dithering. Decide between consistency and inconsistency. Decide between fair weather and all weather. Decide between leadership and following. Decide between a yatra and decide between building highways. Decide speaking to your own people versus speaking to 127 jokers in some foreign university. Decide about being proud about being Indian and decide about always decrying what India is doing. That's the problem. The fundamental problem with the Congress is you have begun to hate India because of your hatred for Modi. You have begun to viscerally be cynical about India because you're cynical about Modi. Hate Modi as much as you want.
India belongs
but do not
to Indians,
diminish
sir.
the expertise, the arrival,
India
the progress
belongs
that
to
every
Indians.
Indian has made.
You cannot
Then you
love India if you do not love Indians. Learn
Of
to
course,
first love
the Indians are making progress.
A common household.
One minute.
A common
When was the
Indian.
last time you saw a hoarding
That
pop out
he
in
is
progress?
he is as much an Indian as you and me.
1 minute.
He also
When you want to be
represents
like
as much of an
Shakespeare,
Indian.
be like William Shakespeare,
Don't
not
give me
Shakespeare's
some
sisters.
blank
No,
figures
here's the
so as
thing.
to
Here's the thing.
denote that a
Obviously,
person
Indians
is
are
more
making
of an Indian
progress,
than
my
another.
friend Lokesh.
I am
Some
behaving
hoarding
very
is not coming out
politely
and
with you.
making progress.
I
Huh, beta?
am behaving very politely with you, and
I'm always polite with you. Have I ever been impolite with you? I've
No,
never been
absolutely. Same holds for me. I have not
And why should we be impolite to each
What
other?
I'm saying,
You've never harmed me.
No, Lokesh, I want to, Lokesh, 1 minute. Lokesh, because Nikhil has also not spoken, I want to come in for a moment, please, both of you. You see, I'll take it forward, and I want to give Nikhil a chance, otherwise he will be remembered only for his placards tonight. See, Nikhil, clarity of purpose, what do you stand for? I'm very clear what the BJP stands for. It's a very, very strong centrist approach, strong military, and certainly defending Hindu interests, uniform civil code, and a certain approach towards Pakistan, etc. What does the Congress party stand for? According to its manifesto, a caste census, Muslim reservations in the judiciary, a weakening of the center by moving items from the central list to the concurrent list. No, this is exactly, and possible comeback of triple talaq by seeking the approval of bodies like the All India Muslim Personal Law Board on personal law matters. Now, point is not just Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi, what does he stand for? I am very clear what he stands for. But I am very clear that what you guys stand for is something that I don't think anybody is going to identify with. This kind of stuff, going and saying, I'll give you 8,000 rupee apprenticeships, I'll weaken the central government, I'll bring in Muslim reservations in the judiciary, and I will bring the office of the National Security Advisor under the supervision of parliamentary committees, including people like Danish Ali and Mahua Maitra. You're going to have the future Ajit Doval deciding India's strategic policy, our relationship with Turkey and Armenia, to be supervised by people from parliament with no domain experience. So what you guys stand for, what you stated in your manifesto is very confusing.
What sort of domain experience does Prime Minister have on matters of national security?
Yeah, elected individuals.
Now, Arnab, can I come in for 2 minutes without interruptions? So Shehzad started the debate with a bunch of figures. GDP per capita, $624 in 2004, 1,560 in 2014, and 2,848 in 2024. Under the UPA, 2.5 times increase, but under this government, 1.82 times increase. Highways, 65,000 kilometers during the UPA, which is about, and 2014, 91,000 kilometers, about a 50% increase. Now about 145,000 kilometers, again about a 50%.
Fact versus fact, I have 30 seconds left.
$113 billion in 2004, $303 billion in 2014, and $642 billion right now. 2.68 times increase during the UPA and 2.18 times increase during this government. Poverty ratio. 2004, 37% people below poverty line. 2014, 21%
right,
people.
ladies and gentlemen,
5% people. During both the government,
is this election about Brand Modi? Your vote is on the debate tonight.
So let's talk
and
about Brand Modi
on the other side of the debate this evening, I have an insider from the Congress party.
You made a point about dynasty corruption. Sorry, Shehzad made a point about dynasty corruption and commission. Dynasty, कौन अजीत पवार को ला रहा है? कौन LJP के चिराग पासवान को ला रहा है? Who is cobbling together every dynastic party there is in the country right now? It is the NDA because they're mighty afraid to lose. Then you're talking about corruption and commissions.
Closing on the debate, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on Brand Modi. And coming up on the other side, viewers, a Congress insider called Gaurav Vallabh. 1 minute location, a Congress insider called Gaurav Vallabh, who tells you a deep inside story of the chaos within the Congress party like never before. In a few minutes. Don't miss this one.